I'm 94 years old. Stop doing these 7 things before it's too late. At 94 years old, I've seen the world change in ways my younger self could never have imagined. I've watched cities grow, technology transform lives, and generations rise with new dreams. But despite all these changes, one thing has remained the same: the way people slowly lose the joy of living by holding on to habits that quietly steal their time, energy, and peace. When you live as long as I have, you begin to notice patterns. You see what helps people live strong and fulfilled lives, and you see what slowly weakens them. Today I want to share something simple, something honest, and something I learned through nearly a century of living. If you want a life that feels lighter, stronger, and more meaningful, there are certain things you must stop doing before it's too late. The first thing you must stop doing is constantly worrying about things you cannot control. When I was younger, I worried about money, about what others thought of me, about whether life would go according to plan. But here's the truth I discovered: most of the things we worry about never happen, and the things that do happen are rarely solved by worry. Worry steals your sleep, drains your energy, and fills your mind with fear. When you reach an old age like mine, you realize how many beautiful moments were hidden behind unnecessary anxiety. Life becomes lighter the moment you learn to focus on what you can do today, instead of fearing tomorrow. The second thing you must stop doing is neglecting your body. Your body is the only home you will live in your entire life. When you are young, it feels strong and endless, so it's easy to ignore small signs of fatigue or pain. But those small signals are whispers from your body asking for care. As the years pass, every walk you take, every healthy meal you choose, and every moment of rest becomes an investment in your future self. I am 94 not because I was perfect, but because I learned to listen to my body. Movement, simple food, fresh air, and rest have more power than most people realize. The third thing you must stop doing is holding on to anger and resentment. I have seen friendships end, families fall apart, and hearts grow heavy simply because someone refused to forgive. The strange thing about resentment is that it hurts the person carrying it far more than the person who caused it. When you hold on to anger for years, it becomes a weight that follows you everywhere. But when you learn to let it go, something incredible happens. You feel free again. Life becomes lighter, and your heart has space for joy instead of bitterness. The fourth thing you must stop doing is isolating yourself from others. Human beings were never meant to walk through life alone. Some of my happiest memories at this age are not about achievements or possessions. They are about conversations, laughter, and shared moments with people I care about. Loneliness quietly weakens the spirit, while connection strengthens it. Even a simple conversation, a walk with a friend, or a call to someone you love can brighten an entire day. Relationships are not just part of life, they are what make life meaningful. The fifth thing you must stop doing is believing that you are too old or too late to change. I have met people in their 30s who think their best days are behind them. And I have met people in their 80s who are still curious about the world. Age is not the true limit, your mindset is. As long as you are alive, you can learn something new, help someone else, or start a small habit that improves your life. Growth does not belong only to the young. It belongs to anyone who refuses to stop moving forward. The sixth thing you must stop doing is chasing happiness in things that don't last. Over the years, I watched people spend their entire lives trying to collect more money, more status, more possessions, thinking it would finally make them happy. But true satisfaction rarely comes from what you own. It comes from how you live, how you treat others, and how peaceful your mind feels when the day ends. The quiet moments of gratitude, kindness, and purpose create a deeper happiness than anything money can buy. The seventh and final thing you must stop doing is waiting for the perfect moment to live your life. Too many people say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll do it when the time is right." But tomorrow has a strange habit of turning into years. The truth is that life is happening right now. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to speak kindly, move your body, learn something new, and appreciate the people around you. When you reach 94, you understand that time is the most precious thing you were ever given. If I could leave you with one simple message from all these years of living, it would be this: life becomes better when you remove the habits that quietly steal your peace. Stop worrying about what you cannot control. Stop neglecting your health. Stop carrying anger that only hurts you. Stop isolating yourself from the people who bring warmth to your life. Stop believing that growth has an age limit. Stop chasing happiness in empty places. And most importantly, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Because the truth is, the perfect moment has already arrived. It's the moment you decide to live differently today. The cost of holding on to the wrong habits is something most people do not notice when they are young, because life still feels full of time and second chances. When you are in your 20s or 30s, a small unhealthy routine seems harmless. Skipping a walk, staying angry for days, worrying about every opinion, or postponing important decisions can feel like ordinary parts of life. But when you live long enough, you begin to see how these small habits quietly shape the direction of your entire life. I have watched many people grow older while carrying the same patterns that slowly drained their energy and happiness. And by the time they realized the cost, years had already passed that they could never get back. One of the most expensive habits people hold on to is constant worrying. It may feel like worrying helps you prepare for the future, but in truth it steals the peace of the present. I remember times in my own life when I lay awake at night imagining problems that never actually happened. Those hours of worry did not solve anything. They only filled my mind with tension and made the next day harder. Over decades, worry becomes a silent thief. It steals sleep, weakens your health, and prevents you from enjoying the simple moments that make life meaningful. Many people reach old age realizing they spent far too much time fearing what might happen instead of appreciating what was already in front of them. Another costly habit is neglecting your health while assuming your body will always forgive you. When people are young, the body recovers quickly. A late night, unhealthy meals, or long periods of inactivity may not seem to cause serious problems right away. But the body remembers everything. Years of small neglect slowly build into fatigue, stiffness, and illness. I have known people who wish they had taken more walks, eaten more carefully, or simply listened to their bodies earlier in life. The cost of ignoring your health is not paid in a single moment. It is paid gradually over the years. When movement becomes harder and energy becomes limited. Holding on to resentment is another habit that quietly drains the spirit. Many people carry anger towards someone who hurt them years ago. They replay old arguments in their minds and hold tightly to the idea that they were wrong. But resentment is like carrying a heavy stone in your pocket every day. The longer you carry it, the heavier it feels. The person you are angry with may have moved on long ago, yet the anger remains with you, shaping your mood and your relationships. Over time, resentment closes the heart and prevents new joy from entering. Letting go does not mean forgetting the past, but it does mean choosing peace instead of continuing the same inner battle. Another habit with a hidden cost is the tendency to compare your life to the lives of others. In every generation, people look at their neighbors, coworkers, or relatives and measure their own success against them. They worry about who has more money, a bigger house, or greater recognition. But comparison is a race that never truly ends. There will always be someone with more, someone with something different, someone who seems ahead in some way. The danger of this habit is that it makes people overlook the blessings already present in their own lives. Years pass while they chase someone else's definition of success instead of discovering what truly brings them peace. Procrastination is another quiet thief that many people underestimate. It begins with small delays. Someone postpones a conversation they need to have, a dream they want to pursue, or a habit they know would improve their life. They say they will start next week, next month, or when circumstances become easier. But life rarely becomes perfectly convenient. Days turn into months, and months slowly become years. The cost of waiting is not always visible immediately, yet it grows with time. Opportunities fade, relationships change, and the energy that once made action easier begins to fade. There is also a cost to surrounding yourself with negativity. People often stay in environments where criticism, complaining, and pessimism are constant. At first, it may feel normal, because humans naturally adapt to the atmosphere around them. But negativity slowly shapes how you see the world. It can make problems appear larger and possibilities appear smaller. When someone spends years in such an environment, their confidence weakens and their hope fades. Choosing to step away from constant negativity is not always easy, yet it can change the entire direction of a person's emotional life. Perhaps the greatest cost of holding on to the wrong habits is the gradual loss of time. Time does not disappear all at once. It slips away quietly through daily routines and repeated behaviors. Each year feels ordinary while it is happening, but when you look back across decades, the pattern becomes clear. The habits you practiced every day slowly built the life you now see. Some people reach old age with gratitude because they chose habits that strengthen their body, mind, and relationships. Others feel regret because they allowed small destructive patterns to continue for too long. The difference between those two paths is rarely dramatic in the beginning, yet over many years it becomes impossible to ignore. Why letting go creates a longer, happier life is something many people only understand after years of experience. When we are young, we tend to believe that success in life comes from holding on tightly to everything, our opinions, our grudges, our worries, our fears, and even our expectations about how life should unfold. We think control is the key to stability, and that by holding on to every detail, we can protect ourselves from disappointment. But over time, life teaches a quieter and more powerful lesson. The more we cling to things that bring stress or pain, the heavier our lives become. Letting go is not about giving up or becoming careless. It is about freeing your mind and heart from the burdens that slowly drain your strength and joy. One of the first things people often need to let go of is the constant need to control everything around them. Life has a way of surprising us. Plans change, people make unexpected choices, and events unfold in ways we never predicted. When someone tries to control every outcome, they spend enormous amounts of energy fighting against the natural uncertainty of life. This tension creates stress that builds day after day. But when a person learns to accept that not everything can be controlled, something remarkable happens. Their mind becomes calmer, their reactions become gentler, and their energy can be used for the things that truly matter. Letting go of control allows a person to move with life rather than constantly struggle against it. Another powerful form of letting go involves releasing old regrets. Many people carry memories of past mistakes like heavy baggage. They replay decisions they wish they had made differently, conversations they wish they had handled better, or opportunities they believe they missed. While reflection can help us learn, living inside regret can quietly poison our sense of peace. The past cannot be rewritten, no matter how many times we think about it. When someone finally allows themselves to accept what happened and focus on what can still be done today, they regain a sense of freedom. This shift of attention from what cannot be changed to what can still be improved brings new life to the present moment. Letting go also means releasing the need to please everyone. This is a habit many people develop early in life. They try to satisfy every expectation from family, friends, coworkers, and society. At first it may seem generous, but constantly shaping your life around the approval of others can become exhausting. Over time, people who live this way may feel disconnected from their own desires and values. They forget what truly brings them happiness, because they have spent so long trying to meet the standards of others. When someone finally gives themselves permission to live authentically, a great weight lifts from their shoulders. They begin to make choices based on their own principles and passions, rather than constant external pressure. Another important aspect of letting go is releasing unnecessary possessions and distractions. Throughout life, people accumulate many things, objects, commitments, and responsibilities that once seemed important. Yet not all of these continue to serve a meaningful purpose. Too many obligations can leave a person feeling overwhelmed and constantly rushed. By simplifying their surroundings and focusing on what truly matters, people often discover a deeper sense of calm. A simpler life does not mean a poorer life. In many cases, it means a richer life filled with more time for relationships, creativity, rest, and personal growth. Letting go also has a powerful effect on relationships. Holding tightly to pride or the need to always be right can damage even the strongest connections. Disagreements are part of every relationship, but when pride becomes more important than understanding, distance begins to grow. Choosing to let go of pride allows room for empathy and forgiveness. It encourages honest conversations and mutual respect. Relationships thrive not because people never make mistakes, but because they learn to release small conflicts before they grow into lasting resentment. Another benefit of letting go appears in how we face change. Life never stands still. People move, careers shift, health evolves, and the world itself continues to transform. Those who resist every change often experience constant frustration because they are trying to preserve something that cannot remain exactly the same. But individuals who learn to let go of rigid expectations become more adaptable. They view change not as a threat, but as a natural part of living. This mindset keeps their curiosity alive and allows them to discover new opportunities, even in unfamiliar situations. Perhaps most importantly, letting go creates space for gratitude. When the mind is crowded with worries, regrets, and comparisons, it becomes difficult to notice the quiet beauty of everyday life. A warm conversation, a peaceful walk, a moment of laughter, or the simple comfort of a calm evening can easily pass unnoticed. But when people release the mental burdens they have been carrying for years, their attention becomes clearer. They begin to recognize the value of the present moment. Gratitude naturally grows in this open space, and with it comes a deeper sense of contentment that supports both emotional and physical well-being.